This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, some members of the community cast their focus beyond Christmas and to the arrival of refugees. An annual festive fundraiser falls short of its target, so organisers put out a plea for help. And the SPCA issues a warning to pet owners who are planning on heading away for the holidays. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. Preparations for the arrival of dozens of refugees to the city are underway. Social services staff, church leaders and government representatives are working on how best to welcome the new arrivals next year. But before any refugees arrive, they're focusing on building community support.
Getting down to business. Members of the Dunedin Refugee Steering Group are hard at work preparing for an influx of refugees to the city. Initially, they expected to have a couple of years to prepare, but with the announcement of a new resettlement centre, the group has just 5 months to get ready.
We've discovered along the journey that there are so many groups already on board, already keen to be involved. I think it's very manageable. And of course, the structural stuff will happen by ministry, by Red Cross. Our role is to make sure that the different community groups are on board as part of, the welcome.
Members are planning several meetings and events to both prepare the Dunedin community and welcome the refugees. So far, Ainsley says the majority of public feedback to the resettlement centre has been positive, but he says there's still work to be done.
There are, of course, people that have questions, and I think those are legitimate. So part of what we will discuss today is sort of to work out now what are some of the questions that are going to need to be addressed to make sure that people feel comfortable and happy to be welcoming, refugees.
One member of the steering group is an Afghani refugee who's lived in Dunedin for the past 13 years. He's providing advice on how best to ensure the new arrivals feel welcome.
If we find ways to educate, especially people of the neighbourhoods where the refugees would be housed, to how to behave towards them, and also to educate them about their background, how much they have suffered, and what kind of needs they have when they resettle in a new place.
A public meeting is being planned for early February to give residents a forum to discuss the arrival of refugees to the city. Until then, locals with questions are encouraged to seek out information and lend support to the cause. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
A house built by tertiary students has been moved to a new permanent site. It took a whole day to move the house to its location at Lookout Point. The house will be used as a caretaker's residence on a church property. It was sold last month at Otago Polytechnic's annual charity house auction, but has only just been moved. A majority of the money raised from the sale will go towards supporting local projects. Those behind the Kmart Wishing Tree appeal are asking for more public support in donating gifts. The annual drive that collects presents for struggling families is not doing as well as hoped nationwide, so they've got a few days before Christmas to get up to par.
Taking stock of public generosity. Kmart staff are sorting through presents that have been donated for those less fortunate over the Christmas season.
We're really a collection point for people to drop off gifts, and then the Salvation Army come and collect those gifts and distribute them to families that are in need over the Christmas period, so that everyone has a lovely Christmas.
The appeal began in November with an aim of collecting 50,000 gifts nationwide. So far the national target hasn't been met and the local collection point is in a similar position. Staff are happy with the efforts so far, but they still need 300 gifts within the next 2 days to meet their store target.
Here in Dunedin we've been really lucky, we've had a lot of support, so we're doing quite well. We're at 3,244 gifts, so really pleased with that figure. Hopefully we'll get to our target of 3,600 by the close of business on Thursday.
The appeal is in its 21st year. Kmart works alongside the Salvation Army to bring presents to the doorsteps of families that need a helping hand. It's an important initiative for staff who believe that everyone deserves a gift at Christmas time.
It's really important because otherwise there are a lot of families out there struggling and they wouldn't get anything. There'd be really disappointed children over the Christmas period, and let's face it, what child doesn't want a gift under the tree at Christmas?
The local branch are urging residents to help by donating a gift before the appeal ends on Christmas Eve. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
The planned redevelopment of Dunedin Hospital is edging closer to a start date. The Southern Partnership Group has just approved a selection of health planners to help support the planning phase of the redevelopment. Planners will draw on work already undertaken by the Southern District Health Board, including using their audits on the condition of existing facilities. An assessment for the redevelopment is expected to be reviewed by the Capital Investment Committee and the Ministers of Health and Finance next year. The successful provider will be announced in the new year, subject to receiving the necessary approvals. The Otago SPCA is urging residents to look out for their pets over the summer period. As warm weather hits Dunedin and many residents leave the city on holiday, it's pets that are bearing the brunt of human error. But SPCA staff have some words of advice for pet owners for the coming months.
Making sure family pets have a safe summer. As Christmas and the New Year approaches, local animal carers are urging pet owners to find arrangements for their animals over the holiday break.
We really ask that people don't leave their pets home alone for long periods of time with nobody looking after them. They need to make arrangements for them, get them into kennels, catteries or get in-home care.
Thompson says during the busy holiday period, owners can sometimes forget to book boarding for pets and provide other basic necessities. Vaccinations for animals can also be forgotten, but she says they're critical.
It's really important that the animals are vaccinated, not going to pick up any bugs over the Christmas time with associating with other animals and things. So vaccinations in good time, well before Christmas, is really important.
Sweltering temperatures saw parts of the city reach 34 degrees this week. Warm weather can be a problem for animals, and the SPCA has already been receiving call-outs for dogs stuck in hot cars. Staff say cases like that can lead to brain damage or death, so it's important to keep pets cool during the hot summer months.
Make sure that you have plenty of shade and plenty of water for animals. You may even want to put ice cubes in pets' water bowls on really hot days. This is going to help keep them cool. They do struggle sometimes with their fur coats on to just to cool themselves down like humans might.
Despite the warning, Thompson says on the whole the region takes good care of their pets, and she hopes this summer is no exception. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we chat with a local physicist who's just returned from studying sea ice in Antarctica, and we'll take a look at the big stories making waves in November.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell menswear, it fits.
The team at Caltex North care more about you than just putting fuel in your tank. They care about you and your family. At the Caltex Valley Workshop, the skilled service team care about your safety, extending the life of your car and helping you live more economically. There's a range of modern equipment to give comprehensive warrant of fitness checks and servicing to your vehicle. Come visit your only local in North East Valley and receive 10% off when you book your warrant and service together. That's your friendly Caltex Valley Workshop, 134 North Road, or book online at caltexvalley.co.nz.
Get along to the Wings and Wheels Open Day, Sunday the 17th of January at Tyree Airfield. With over 600 historic vehicles on display, plus vintage and modern planes, loads of free kids entertainment, plane and helicopter rides, demos, stalls, delicious food and live music. That's Wings and Wheels Open Day 2016.
Pallet fires are growing in popularity in Otago, with people who want a clean and efficient form of home heating. The sight of a burning flame without the problems of chopping, stacking and carting wood around is a winner. Pallet fires, so easy, so efficient.
128 tracks, dynamic automation, dual faders, and totally digital. This is state-of-the-art music production. The SSL Digital Console. You'll find one in the BBC studios in London, another at CBS studios in New York, and now one at the University of Otago. It's a good reason why our sound now sounds even better. My name is Maddie Parkins Craig, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Chiropractic care is a drug-free way of sorting out stress and pain by getting your spine in line with body and brain. At Mosgiel Chiropractic and Wellbeing, we provide family chiropractic care. Feel taller, lighter and brighter. Call Mosgiel Chiropractic and Wellbeing today, 484-7272.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books, with the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boys store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices is just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, you're guaranteed a treat.
McClellan Refrigeration is your one-stop shop for heat pumps in Dunedin. We have a range of heating, air conditioning and refrigeration solutions. We also have 20 years experience. McClellan Refrigeration, call us on 477 0088.
Welcome back. 4 Dunedin community groups are the latest benefactors of the Gig City Community Fund. Combined, the groups have been given almost $70,000 to work on several technology-based projects. Among them is the Malcolm Charitable Trust, which will use its share of the money to begin work on a Mozilla Hive, a type of digital community to connect and engage with youth. Other recipients of the fund include the Dunedin Gasworks Museum, St Barnabas Trust and the Urban Dream Brokerage Project. The fund is part of the prize the city received for winning Gigatown. And on that note, let's take a look at today's markets. The NZX 50 has closed the day up 27 points, it's now at 6,148. The FTSE is down 18 points. And to the exchange rates, and the Kiwi dollar has closed the day up against the major currencies we follow. An Otago University physicist has just returned to Dunedin from Antarctica, where she led a research project on sea ice. It's a collaborative project involving several institutions worldwide, and Associate Professor Pat Langhorne joins us to explain. Good evening.
Good evening.
Now, what was the purpose of this trip?
Well, as you said, it was a joint project with an Australian group, but it also involved a group from Belgium and somebody from Japan, so it really was multinational. And we were all focused on looking at sea ice, frozen ocean, mainly looking at it as a habitat for ice algae, which is something that is at the bottom of the food web.
How long were you down there for?
Well, we went south by icebreaker in mid-October, and that took about 14 days. And then we arrived and we were on station for about a month and came back just a few days ago. So,
now, you've been to Antarctica before. Did you notice any environmental changes this time around?
I have been to Antarctica before numerous times, but to a different part of Antarctica. So I couldn't talk about the long-term changes or longer-term changes. I'm not actually that old. Over in the part of Antarctica we've just come back from. But you do notice changes. I've regularly visited McMurdo Sound, and I think, on a positive note, I think there's much better care of the environment now than there first was when I went south in 1985. There has been a visit since Greenpeace since then, and the place was really tidied up after that.
Tell us about the importance of being able to monitor the ice shelves down there.
All right, so ice shelves are bits of the ice cap, so ice that started on the land and then get pulled down so that it floats on the ocean. So it's connected, it's like a big massive floating glacier. And what happens is that these ice shelves are like a stopper in a bottle cork. They keep the ice on the land. If they break up, which they have done sometimes around Antarctica, then what happens is that the ice on the land flows down much faster than it did before. And that means that that ice is adding to the ocean. And so it makes a difference to sea level. And if all the ice on the land in Antarctica floated onto the ocean and melted, then there would be 57 metres of sea level rise. So it's in our interest to keep the ice shelves where they are.
Absolutely. What are the possible global impacts if the sea ice does decay? Apart from 57 metres.
Oh, well, all right. So sea ice is already floating. It's frozen sea and it is floating. But it makes the ocean white. Now, the consequences of that are that it reflects heat back up to the atmosphere. So when there's a white cover on the ocean, less heat gets into the ocean than when the sea ice melts, which it does every summer in Antarctica, and then it freezes again. So the consequences of all the sea ice melting all year is that the ocean will heat up much, much more rapidly. And that has big implications for ecosystems, for animals, for things that live in the ocean, and a huge influence, feedback on the climate. So it makes the climate, it's going to make things warmer and stormier and change the winds.
Okay, now you've recently received some additional major funding for this project. What will that go towards?
All right, so there's two things we're looking at. The main aim of the overall project is to feed information into a global climate model, a model that takes all the components of the climate and puts them all in a model and then runs it. And they're very big models and very complex. So what we're aiming to do is to do some work on sea ice, targeting two areas. We'll look at the interactions between ice shelves and sea ice. And we'll also look at the effect of ocean waves on sea ice. And we will be attempting to put input into the model so that then the model can run with these parameters in. So they will have the effects of ice shelves and they'll have the effect of ocean waves in this big model. That's what the money's for.
Associate Professor Pat Langhorne, thank you very much for your time and Merry Christmas.
My pleasure.
Thank you. After the break on 39 Dunedin News, thieves are hard at work in the city, and we'll find out which stories were making headlines in November.
Help delay the signs of ageing with Collagen Plus from Silberhorn. Collagen Plus helps supplement your body's own natural production of collagen, giving you firmer, healthier, younger looking skin, shinier, healthier hair and stronger nails. It's restoring your beauty from within, and it's great value. 3-month supply, that's 180 capsules, is just $98. We'll pay the courier charge to you, and we'll give you a luxurious face cream as well, beauty from the inside and the outside. Give us a call today, 0800 502 402.
Mobility Scooters Otago. Mobility Scooters, new and used, electric manual wheelchairs, strollers and walkers. Free home demonstration and delivery. Call Tony on 03 455 2875 or visit our showroom, 211 King Edward Street, opposite Westpac.
Congratulations, you're getting married. Hi, I'm James Morris, wedding celebrant, and it's my privilege and a pleasure to bring you the perfect ceremony for your perfect day. Don't wait or contemplate. Your consultation is free with no obligation. jamesmorris.co.nz.
Hedges are something we almost take for granted. A good hedge needs regular maintenance to look its best and to add value and character to your property. For all your hedge care needs, call the team at SGC Services on 0800 783 453.
Mosgiel Mowers Plus can help you with products to make your garden maintenance jobs easier. Lawn mowers, ride-ons, chainsaws, line trimmers. Sales and service are our specialty. Mosgiel Mowers Plus. Phone 489 3572 22B Gordon Road, Mosgiel.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
They've got it's all about our customer care, great food, great coffee, and supported by some awesome staff. We think it's really important that the customers, when they come in here, have a good experience and leave wanting to come back. And I think in a nutshell, that's what the Good Oil's all about.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boy store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices is just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget, we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, you're guaranteed a treat.
Get along to the Wings and Wheels Open Day, Sunday the 17th of January at Tyree Airfield. With over 600 historic vehicles on display, plus vintage and modern planes, loads of free kids entertainment, plane and helicopter rides, demos, stalls, delicious food and live music. That's Wings and Wheels Open Day 2016.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Welcome back. Local thieves are continuing to target cars parked in recreational areas, taking valuables that are left inside. Tourists have been the main victims in recent weeks, with a handful of rental vehicles broken into. The latest theft occurred at the Tunnel Beach car park, where thieves smashed a car window of a rental car. Items taken included 2 Chinese passports, over $1,000 in foreign currency, as well as personal electronic gear. The theft follows on from several similar incidents at the car park last month. Well, it's time now to recap what was making the news in November. It was a busy month, jam-packed with rugby, royals and races. Much to the delight of local fans, the All Blacks were crowned Rugby World Cup champions yet again, and the city hosted both rock royalty and the real thing.
It was a celebratory affair as locals packed out Octagon bars in the wee hours of the morning to watch the Rugby World Cup final. The All Blacks took New Zealand to victory with a 34-17 win against Australia.
It had to end that way. The rugby gods were aligned.
He was crying!
It was just our time.
Like, couldn't breathe for half the game, just stoked. Absolutely stoked.
It was better than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be cagey and tight, and it was amazing.
Royal fever hit Dunedin as hundreds of people turned out to see Prince Charles and his wife Camilla. They had a brief but busy tour of the city, seeing the sights and chatting with gathered royal fans. A Japanese delegation visited the city to celebrate a milestone in an important relationship. The 35th anniversary of Otaru and Dunedin's sister city relationship was a chance for the city leaders to discuss future opportunities.
The cities are quite similar in the challenges they face, economic challenges, demographic challenges, ageing populations, etc. And so we'll be looking at whether there are things we can learn from each other.
Punters converged at Wingatui in large numbers for the races, despite bad weather. The Melbourne Cup race day saw heavy rain and cold temperatures, but it did little to dampen the spirits of the several thousand revellers. The city's largest highway development in years was finally opened. Transport Minister Simon Bridges cut the ribbon on the multi-million-dollar Caversham Highway improvement project, and he was keen to see the government continue to invest in future local projects.
I'm excited to see other things happen in Dunedin, and actually just been asking the Mayor, our local members of Parliament, some of the things that they would like to see, because I think if there were projects that stacked up, we would be keen to fund them. One I'm personally very interested in is just how we can continue to create a comprehensive network of cycleways here in Dunedin.
The month closed on a high as the government confirmed a new refugee resettlement centre would be established in Dunedin. An iconic rock band, Fleetwood Mac, brought their world tour to Forsyth Bar Stadium, much to the delight of thousands of local fans. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Social service agencies are hard at work planning several events to welcome an influx of refugees into the city next year. The annual Kmart Wishing Tree Appeal is struggling to meet a nationwide gift target, but local staff remain confident they'll get there. And Otago SPCA staff want people to think about their pets over summer and ensure provisions are made for animals before leaving on holiday. Well, it's time to find out what's going to be in Wednesday's Otago Daily Times, and Phil Somerville joins us. Good evening.
Yes, hi. It's fresh day Wednesdays, of course. Fashion on the main page, dresses summer style. Plenty of recipes inside as usual, the wine column and so on and so forth. The news pages, bumper retail time. If you've been in town, it does seem really busy, especially around lunch times. Brendan McCullum, of course, announces retirement from Test cricket today. There's lots on that, including an interview with his high school coach. And I thought I'd mention there was an item in the paper this morning about the policewoman off duty who saved a girl in the surf at Tomahawk Beach. Well, we've interviewed her and got more about that really heartwarming story.
Excellent. That's all in tomorrow's ODT. Thank you, Phil. Time now for local weather.
This weather report proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Collagen Plus.
And here's today's City View is taken of waves breaking at the boat ramp. Around the city at 3 o'clock today, not quite as pleasant as yesterday, but not too bad all the same. 16 degrees for both the central city and the gardens, 17 for the Tyree. To the situation, and a weakening cold front is passing over the country. It will be followed by a cooler southwest flow. The good news, though, is that an anticyclone will be moving over the country during Christmas weekend. Yeehaw! Well, to the forecast for some of the main towns in the lower South Island for tomorrow, it's looking pretty good. One four-letter word describes all these towns, and that's fine. Invercargill, Gore, Tiano and Alexandra expecting highs of between 15 and 19 degrees. And a fine one is expected in Queenstown, Wanaka and Twizel, all heading for 19. Fine weather for Oamaru with afternoon nor'easters and 17 degrees. In Dunedin tonight, fine weather with sou'westers dying out, a low of 5. Tomorrow, mostly fine and sunny with nor'easters developing, 16 degrees. And on Thursday, or Christmas Eve, mostly fine with sou'westers and a high of 15. To the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information. Low tide tomorrow morning is at 20 past 9. High tide follows at 8 to 3. And fishing conditions look pretty good tomorrow, especially at around 20 past 11 in the morning. And that is all from the team here at 39 Dunedin News for Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.